Hello, so I've decided to do some crypto analysis on a video for the first time. So we're starting off here with a little bit of Bitcoin. So I haven't looked at crypto in about a week now, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened. So we're on the week chart here, day chart. I normally look at about the 4 hour, sometimes the 1 day. I switch between the 4 hour and the 1 day because I only normally look at it every 3-4 days or so. My life isn't revolving around crypto anymore. It used to be, but not currently. So the first thing what I normally like to look at before I look at the graphs is the fear greed index. It's a good indicator in terms of where the market's moving, if people are putting a lot of money in or if people are holding some of their money on the side. Right now we're still in the greed region here. Over the past month we kind of did, well, look at the 3 months. Oh wow. Yeah, so October time it was quite low, and then we dipped a bit in October, and then from there everything just skyrocketed. So looking at this the past 3 months, we have been in the extreme greed for a long time. So us having a pullback now makes logical sense because it's not going to always stay that high. So the fact that Bitcoin's coming down now makes a lot of sense just because of how greedy it's been. We haven't had that big of a drop from the peak though. So it's only been about 10% drop from when we were down here. So where were we? So I mean, no, because right at the bottom of the market, we were a lot lower than this. We were back at like 16,000, and eventually it came up. I was expecting it around about August time for it to break up, but it actually went down, and then we hit a bottom. This was the bottom of the market. It's not going to go that low again until after the next halving, and I don't think it's ever going to go back down to 25,000. But here we started to go up. Looking at the price here though, we can see, I'm just looking at this in terms of, we're getting a lot of sideways momentum. There's not too much volume currently in the market, but people are still keeping their eyes on it. People are still buying, and it's a sentiment in terms of we're starting to become a lot more bullish leading up to the Bitcoin halving cycle. Here as well, it's just like, you can have your regular regression lines and all of this, but ultimately the market is determined by people. People are buying this. That's what making the price move. Here we got a channel. The price is just moving stagnant. And the RSI though, the RSI is coiling up a little bit higher, while the price is staying somewhat at the same region here. We're at about 42,000. So in terms of the Bitcoin price, I think we're just going to be going sideways for a little bit longer. Eventually we're going to break up. The price will go higher. It's just a matter of when. Everything which happens in the market is going up, it's going down. That's going to happen. It's just about understanding when it's going to happen. That's the big question. So in terms of Bitcoin, honestly right now, short term, I think we're going to be continuing up in this channel. There's somewhat of a, I'd say a bit of a bullish RSI divergence here. The price is getting a little bit lower in terms of here. It's slightly sloping down, but the RSI is increasing. Like, you're getting higher lows on your RSI. So in terms of the price of Bitcoin, I wouldn't be surprised if the price went higher, but you're most likely going to be staying sideways for the next month or so. In terms of if we zoom out to the last cycle, so where we are now, the beginning of 2020, where is beginning of 2020? Look on the 1 day actually would be a bit better. So the beginning of 2020 was a little bit of a different market because of COVID. But when we're looking at the beginning of 2020, we started seeing an upward roar. And to be fair, around about this time, there was a small pullback, which we are somewhat experiencing. But you have to remember that the cycles are somewhat lengthened now. So the pullback which we were having beginning of December, beginning of November is kind of what's happened now. So we could expect this kind of sideways movement for the next month or so. And then we're going to see this peak again, maybe about March time. So this is most likely just going to go sideways for a little bit, and then it's going to dip. If you look at this in terms of like a Wyckoff distribution, we are in the distribution phase. People have bought up, they've made a little bit profit. Now they're selling off. So it's very wise to keep your eye on the market, and if you're looking to make a quick buck, probably a good time to cash out. You have to look at the sentiment, especially in terms of Solana. Like, look at this. Back in June, 6 months ago, it was 14. It did a 10x in this time. It did a 10x. It went up to about 125. Like, it went absolutely wild. So, and it's coiling up again here. Like, you're looking at the regression in terms of the price. We're coiling up, getting lower highs, higher lows. The volume's going down, meaning there's going to be a big move coming here. RSI also higher lows. So something's going to happen here with Solana. It's just a question of if it's going to be up or if it's going to be down. In terms of the market right now, it's unpredictable. It's always unpredictable. An interesting one which I'm looking at is ICP, so the Internet Company Protocol, Computer Protocol. It's just because of the movement here. It's trying to go higher, but it's not. It's really struggling, and it's just getting lower highs. Like, this isn't promising if you're holding this. I would most likely say this is going to be going down. The volume is going down, but at the same time, when you're getting lower highs and the volume going down, it's most likely you're going to have the reverse happening. So all that volume here, when the price is going up, people are bullish. So when the price is going down, there's less volume in the market, meaning you're likely going to see, if somebody starts buying, it's going to be a trigger effect. All the limit orders, people wanting to buy up, all the shorts, people closing the short, it's just going to keep going up. So in terms of this, I'd say, you know what? Could be going higher. Looking at ADA. So it's one of those coins where if you hold it, you're alright. If you don't hold it, you're alright. If it goes down, you're alright. If it goes up, you're alright. It's one of those stable coins. Like, not in terms of like it's going to stay at the same price, but it's not as volatile as something like Solana. It's similar to your Ethereum, your Bitcoins. It's a solid coin in terms of the price here. You know what? Not too sure. No one's sure. If I had the future, why would I be making this video for YouTube? I'll be living up on my yacht, but here for ADA. Let's look at some of the moving averages. The moving averages here, what we're going to see, price, resistance. It wants to go higher, low volume, doesn't have enough volume to push through. That's kind of must have been what we were seeing here. So resistance, so much resistance here for ICP. It wants to go higher, but it has this resistance. It broke through the 100. Is it going to bounce off this and go higher? That's the question. That's what we need to be watching. In terms of ADA though, uncertain. You need to look at the path. When you're uncertain about the market, you look at the overall trend. The overall trend was up for 3 months. Extreme greed. Right now, people are still greedy because they're hoping it's going to go higher and they're going to be able to salvage some of their losses. But my verdict now, the market's going to go sideways, kind of up, and then it's just going to drop down. Right now, we're in a distribution phase. That's period. I'd sell. Wait a bit, and then buy back in at some better prices. But it comes down to your personal preference, what you're doing. Obviously, the best time to sell would have been when you're at $65, $67 here. But we don't know the past. We don't know we know the past, but we don't know the future. We don't know that in the past we didn't know the future. If we did, we would have sold. We would have bought. We would have put everything. We would have sold the kids. Sold the kids straight up. We would have sold the house. We would have remortgaged everything. Sold the car. Put everything here, and then sold up here. Leveraged everything we had, but we don't know the future. That's why we don't do it. So in terms of this here was looking like it was a bottom signal. This is what a bottom signal looks like. But just in this small epoch for the month of Jan, this could be the bottom. For January, we could see sideways, and then February, we could see some lowers. And then end of Feb, that's when we start to go up again. So in terms of the price movement, this is what I'd kind of say would happen. Let's do that. So I'd say we're probably going to be going sideways for a bit, and then we'd go down, probably back to this solid resistance, and then we'd just start going up, and then from there we'd bottom. So in terms of the bottom, I don't think the bottom's going to be that much lower. We're going to be about that 40. Like ADA always loves this 40 range all the time. It's happiest around here. You see here, it shows up here. Whole time through previous markets. In the bear market, we were just loving this range. So in terms of right now, I'd say we're going to go sideways and then go down. So it's a distribution phase. It's distribution phase. Sell up, take your profits, buy back in later on. Let's just see what the future beholds.